First and foremost, I want to thank you. I want to thank the tremendous IANGEL organization, as well as all of you spending your evening tonight viewing this program and supporting us. Thank you for your support, recognition, and voice over the years. I do have to give a special shout out to my 93-year-old mother, Claire, my dad, Don, my sister, Leah, nephew, Holden, and niece, Camilla. They are my core support team. Thanks, guys. But to answer your question, you know, one very interesting feature of COVID-19 is that it has caused many people to experience, probably for the first time in their lives, what marginalized people have known as reality for centuries. Time drags, overshadowed by the fear, anger, frustration, loneliness, and isolation of living surrounded by an oppressor. All of us here in this virtual safe space know what it feels like to not be seen, to be forgotten, to not be heard. That literally happened to my own family. 78 years ago, the US government gave my parents, grandparents, aunts, and uncles 24 hours to abandon their homes, taking only what they could carry, and herded them off to a destination and a fate unknown. It was the beginning of the mass evacuation of Japanese Americans during World War II. Now, these were the least threatening people you can imagine. My mom's family ran a grocery store and they were farmers. My paternal grandfather was a Methodist minister opening up churches all along the West Coast. My mom, just 14, vividly remembers her beloved dog, Patty, running after her, running after the families as the authorities took them away, forcing them out of their house. Her older brother, proud to be on the Stanford basketball team, remembers something different. He remembers going to his final practice, sad, but excited to at least see his coach and his beloved player friends for the last time to say goodbye, only to find out that none of them would show up because he was a traitor. After 9 months jammed into a horse stall in Santa Anita racetrack, the entire family, into a stall that reeked of the stall's former inhabitants, they were then put on a train, not knowing where they were going, and ended up in Heart Mountain, Wyoming, to a stall, again, one family with chamber pots and cots. They were surrounded by barren mountains, attacked by blistering winds, and the only real life? The prisoners, the people housed in the camp, and the oppressors, those carrying weapons along the barbed wire perimeter to keep them there. All the time, the refrain kept continued in their minds, kept choiring in their minds. We are American citizens. How can this be happening? Despite this horrifying treatment, my dad, Tom, and my uncles joined the US Army. All of the men did. My Uncle Joe, in fact, was in the legendary 442nd Battalion, the most highly decorated unit of its size in US military history. Now, I grew up hearing these stories. They left a sense of betrayal, shame, guilt, anger, and disillusion. But cutting through all that, however, was the bright light of hope. The light of hope that the world can change. The history of my relatives provides a huge and powerful reservoir of courage for me that I can draw on to speak truth to power and to try to do one thing, just one thing, every day to build equality and justice. And that one thing includes today and our celebration of what we have accomplished, because we are in it to win it. And that means we must not stop working. As Nancy said, it's the 100th anniversary of suffrage. We must continue the struggle for gender equality. This means that women's health issues are taken as seriously as men's. This means equal pay so that mothers can provide education, healthcare, and healthy food for their children. It means more options in the face of domestic violence. and control and ownership of our bodies. That's what the celebration supports.
Thank you so much. Such a difficult, but yet with a silver lining type of story. How does your this background translate into advice that you can offer other women leaders?
It's another great question, and I think this one applies to the men in the audience as well. Leaders need to reach back and pull up those who are following them. They need to pull them up as they're climbing that ladder of success. I've had the benefit of being sponsored and mentored by so many greats. Kamala Harris, for example, who's making all of us super proud right now, was the driving force behind my becoming the first female minority president of the Bar Association of San Francisco. It took us 134 years to get there, but with Kamala's sponsorship, encouragement, and her huge support of me, we did it. Jamie McKeon, my chair, the only woman chair of a global big law firm, Morgan Lewis, convinced me to join Morgan Lewis over 15 years ago by telling me that she and the firm support strong women like me. Civil rights giants, Dale Manami, Don Tamaki mentored me every step of the way. The list goes on and on. So my advice, be practical. Put in a good word. Listen and open your heart. The point is, have conversations with those you would like to have follow in your footsteps, because eventually they will no longer be following, they will be leading. For the younger women here tonight, listen and soak it all in, because you deserve every bit of success that this world offers you. You deserve a seat at the table. You add value and your insights are necessary. That means you have to take informed risks, which also means you have to believe in yourself and have the courage to take those risks. At the same time, do not hesitate to reach out to your mentors for advice. We are here to support you. Watch and learn, and then act. And one more thought for everyone, let's get out the vote. So thank you again. I am so humbled by this acknowledgement, by the presence of all of you, and please reach down in your hearts and donate to IANGEL.
Thank you so much, Joan. Such a great message, such a wonderful message. I want to formally present you with the award. Here it is virtually.
Wow,
and
thank you.
we will make sure that it is delivered to you. Thank you so much for being a leader for women.
Thank you. The honor is all mine.